Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to my channel. Kishane Thompson has made me very happy. And actually, on the same day, I predicted that Kishane Thompson is going to win this race. Diamond Celestia, Diamond League, ladies and gentlemen. 9.87, is it 9.87 or 6? Either way, ladies and gentlemen, he has still won this race. Okay, and of course, there are some Americans who are rooting for Kishane Thompson, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, some of them believe or think that Kishane Thompson flopped because they expected that Kishane Thompson should actually win should clock at 9.6. That's something that they were expecting, so that he can completely wipe out Noah Lyles, ladies and gentlemen. You remember the altercation Kishane Thompson had with Kenny Bednarek. Okay, so there are some Kenny Bednarek fans who believe that Noah Lyles is a little bit over himself. Okay, he's a little bit, too proud, and Kishane Thompson should wash this guy, should punish this guy, punish. Yes, now this is one of the comments. Noah Lyles is improving. He tore Kenny up, that is Kenny Bednarek, and Kishane Thompson is next. My friends, that is the comment of one of the Americans, ladies and gentlemen. Now, my friend, let me tell you, accept the defeat with grace. Accept the defeat with the same grace that Jamaicans accepted in the 2024 Paris Olympics, ladies and gentlemen. Accept defeat so that we can all move on. Accept defeat so that all of us can move on in peace. Accept that Kishane Thompson right now is the top end speed. One of them is also saying that Noah Lyles currently is the top end speed. Currently, Kishane Thompson is the top end speed. Kishane Thompson is the top end speed. Yes, there was a little bit difference. Okay, but the talk that we are having today is that Kishane Thompson is the top end speed. Why don't you accept that defeat? Why is it that any time that Kishane Thompson is winning the race, there is always discussion, there's always controversies? Suppose in Paris Olympics, and it was Kishane Thompson who had won that race and Noah Lyles was second, would you have said the same thing? I'm sure you will still say, oh no, he won that race, but right now, even after Kishane Thompson has won that race, you guys are still denying the fact that Kishane Thompson is weak, Kishane Thompson is next. Hey, he tore down Kenny Bednarek. Kishane Thompson is not Kenny Bednarek. I'm telling you, Kishane Thompson is going to he's preparing himself very well in the next Tokyo Championship. And I'm telling you this right now, the next Tokyo Championship, Kishane Thompson is going to win. Yes, here is another comment from one of the Americans, ladies and gentlemen. He's saying, call me delusional. If Oblique get it right, he's mocking all of them. That means if Oblique Seville get it right, he's mocking both Noah Lyles and Kishane Thompson. Yes, if Oblique Seville get it right, like the way you have said, and it's still a win-win, because after all, I am for Jamaica. Yes, Oblique Seville is a Jamaican, and Jamaicans are still going to celebrate. They are still going to. Is one of them, ladies and gentlemen. Actually, Oblique Seville has always been Usain Bolt's favorite, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. If you can remember Usain Bolt, he said something good about Oblique Seville. He said, if there's anyone who has a potential and the guts to beat my record, is Oblique Seville, ladies and gentlemen. That is what Usain Bolt said. So it's still, as long as the trophy is coming back to Jamaica, as long as the crown is coming back to Jamaica, I don't see any other problem. If it's Oblique Seville, is good. If it's Kishane Thompson, is good. We are still going to come back here and celebrate, ladies and gentlemen. If it's Oblique, it's even better. Okay, but at the moment right now, the top end speed, as I said, at the moment right now is Kishane Thompson. Kishane Thompson is the top end speed as we speak. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. This is one of the most remarkable race that we have all been waiting. The Celestia Diamond League, ladies and gentlemen. This is something that even Jamaicans themselves have been waiting. This is not just any other race. Okay, this is a race, a rematch between Noah Lyles and Kishane Thompson, ladies and gentlemen. This is a rematch. This is the race that made a difference to what happened in Paris Olympics in 2024, where Noah Lyles was declared the winner by 0.05 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. Something that isn't something that is still in discussion as we speak right now. Okay, there are some people who believe that Noah Lyles won that race. Others believe that no, it's Kishane Thompson who won that race. But something that I found so intriguing is that there are some Americans, actually most Americans, really wanted, or they were rooting for Kishane Thompson to win this race. Ladies and gentlemen, you remember what happened between Kenny Bednarek and Noah Lyles, the altercation Noah Lyles had with Kenny Bednarek. Okay, some Americans believe that Noah Lyles is so full of himself. Okay, he's so full of himself, and they wanted somebody to completely whip him up, and so they were rooting for Kishane Thompson to win that race. Actually, they said that, some of them said that Kishane Thompson flopped, okay, in that race. They wanted Kishane Thompson to win by 9.65 completely wipe or wash out this guy, ladies and gentlemen, so that he can calm down, because Noah Lyles is so full of himself, ladies and gentlemen. But again, I said, and of course I'm so happy once again, my prediction was very correct. My prediction and prophecy was very correct. It always comes to pass, ladies and gentlemen. I told you that Kishane Thompson is going to be the flag bearer of Jamaican Sprint Championship, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, and indeed he's the flag bearer. All eyes as we speak right now are on Kishane Thompson, even though every season in Jamaica there's always going to be a new kid in the block, there's always going to be a new sprinter, ladies and gentlemen. But either way, as we speak right now, Kishane Thompson is the talk of town. Celestia Diamond League is the talk as we speak right now. 9.87 is a good one. Is it 9 point? Yes, 9.87. Is it 9.87 or 9.86? Either way, 9.87 versus 9.90 of Noah Lyles. That will still go. A win is a win, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, some people said, oh, he started this way, he started that. Nobody, when it comes to championship, when it comes to sprinting, nobody remembers how a sprinter actually started, ladies and gentlemen. We always want to know how he's finished. Okay, and he gave out a good finishing, even though Noah Lyles was almost closing in the gap. But the good news is Kishane Thompson was able to keep up with the momentum, and he made sure that he's not going to give this guy any room, ladies and gentlemen. This is amazing. And of course, the mental resilience and the urge to win is also something that propelled Kishane Thompson, ladies and gentlemen, because this guy also, Kishane Thompson remembers very well what happened in Paris Olympics, ladies and gentlemen. So he had to come with enough mental stability and edge to completely win this race and move ahead, ladies and gentlemen. But again, I'm here again to remind you, ladies and gentlemen, please do not underestimate Noah Lyles at any point. Okay, or maybe it can even be Kenny Bednarek, who knows? Because also Kenny Bednarek has some beef with Noah Lyles. Yeah, Kenny Bednarek of USA, he has some beef with Noah Lyles. And I also saw Akani Simbine of South Africa. That guy, I think that's one of the best African sprinters. He's one of the best African sprinters that we have right now as we speak. Akani Simbine, and the sprinter from Ghana, Ahmed Rashid Simino, ladies and gentlemen. And of course our very own Ferdinand Omanyala is also trying, but Akani Simbine right now, he was also part of that race. I saw him, ladies and gentlemen. This was an interesting race, and I'm happy because it went the way I predicted, just the way I said that Kishane Thompson is going to win. He must win this race. He must win this race. He has, he knows what happened in Paris, so he had to win this race, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, Noah Lyles always wants to prove himself. He wants to prove something, and he has something against the Jamaican stars, ladies and gentlemen. He would rather lose to other sprinters, but when it comes to Jamaican stars, he develops supersonic speed. So again, he has to be very careful in the next Tokyo championship, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to come, because 9.87 and 9.90 of Noah Lyles is not very far. That is by a whiskers, ladies and gentlemen. Meaning that if Kishane Thompson just flopped a little bit like that, again, it will be another talk. Okay, but I'm happy. I'm so much happy. I'm a happy guy. I'm a happy man, ladies and gentlemen, that my prediction has gone the way I wanted. My prediction has gone the way I wanted. Hey, thank God, because if Noah Lyles would have won this race, I don't know what I would have said. ladies and gentlemen, the fact that Kishane Thompson still maintained, or the fact that Kishane Thompson was able to maintain the same speed and momentum, and he actually clocked 9.87, slightly ahead of Noah Lyles. Really, that is something very, very commendable, ladies and gentlemen. I'm so proud of Kishane Thompson, and in a day like this, I still made the same prediction, and I said that Kishane Thompson is actually going to win this race, ladies and gentlemen. There are some Americans who actually, there are some Americans who are rooting for Kishane Thompson. They said that some of them think that Kishane Thompson did not actually do a good job, because they wanted Kishane Thompson to completely whip out Noah Lyles, because they believe Noah Lyles is so full of himself, ladies and gentlemen. You remember what happened between Kenny Bednarek, an American sprinter, and Noah Lyles? You know, there was some little bit of altercation because, like I've said, Noah Lyles is so full of himself, and they wanted someone to put Noah Lyles to his place, and you know, they wanted Kishane Thompson to do that job, ladies and gentlemen. But according to them, according to me, Kishane Thompson won. That is the most important thing. I predicted that he will win, and he has won, according to me. But according to those American people, American fans of Kishane Thompson, they are saying that no, he did not do a good job. He actually flopped. Okay, they wanted Kishane Thompson to give Noah Lyles a good beating of 9.6, so that Noah Lyles will be, you know, will have something, will have a story to tell, ladies and gentlemen. But again, he tried, and like I've said, he came up with a very good mental capacity to beat this guy, ladies and gentlemen. But he also needs to be very careful, okay, because Noah Lyles is very vengeful, and he should not be underestimated by any chance or by anything, ladies and gentlemen. Because 9.87 and 9.90, they are not very far. That is by a whiskers. You know, we can say that Kishane Thompson won by a whiskers. But you know, the next Tokyo championship, he's once again going to win. Like I've said, he's once again going to win, and this time around, he's going to give it a good score, good whopping score, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, and I don't know why. I don't know why anytime Kishane Thompson is winning, there's always discussions like this. Okay, there's always someone correcting him, this and that, correcting him, this and that. You know, why didn't you do that when Noah Lyles in the Paris Olympics 2024? Why didn't you do that when Noah Lyles won in the Paris Olympics? Why is it there's always some controversies when it's Kishane Thompson winning the race? Why? That's a question that I always keep asking myself. I have never understood why is there always controversies, ladies and gentlemen. But either way, he still won the race.